we're going to talk about running bottom bouncers, and specifically slow death. Slow death is just a simple Aberdeen hook that's made by Mustad that's bent. And what we're going to do with this bent hook, once we tie it on and put a crawler on it, it's going to lope and spin in the water column. What we're using here today, we're fishing about 15 to 20 foot, this break, or this road bed. We're using a 2-ounce bouncer right now. So I use a 2-ounce and a 1.5. And the reason why I use the heavier bouncer, you're thinking 15, 18 feet, what the heck? Is because I have a lot of control. As soon as I come off the road bed, I can get it right back down and work the break. If I'm running a lighter bouncer, I don't have as much control. There is definitely a time and a place for a lighter bouncer, but right now, that's what we're gonna do. So putting on these crawlers, I'm gonna put this on and show you what it should look like. So the crawler, of course, has a collar on it, right? And everybody knows where that is. It's in the middle of the, or it's about 1 inch down. So I take this crawler and I run it straight through the front, if he's gonna cooperate. Front of the crawler until I get to the collar. There's the collar. This one's just got a little one. But then it comes out and I push the head right up over the eyelet. Now you can see how the crawler itself is bent. I'm going to pinch off the back for a little scent trail, and then when I put this in the water, you're going to see how it's spinning. If it doesn't spin, there's some adjustment things that I can show you. I don't know if Josh could get that spin or not.
Yep.
Okay. So what we do now is we drop this all the way down to the bottom until I get a little bounce. You'll see it hit the bottom, the line will stop going out. Boom, right there. Click it down, put it in the rod holder, and then start fishing. Now what you're going to do is, this is a bottom bouncer, not a bottom dragger, so you want to really make sure that you're constantly checking your line to make sure it's bottom. The way to do that is to constantly check it. So look at where you drop it. I dropped it at 17 feet. I know it's at 17 feet. If I'm rolling and I see it drop down to 19 or 20, then all I'm going to do is open it back up until it pops, and then I know I'm on the bottom. Vice versa, if it comes up to 14, I'll reel it up to call it a reset, and then drop it down until it pops again. Right there. And now you know you're fishing and working that break. You do that, check your bottom bouncer, the depth. Every time you change about a 2-foot variance, and you're going to be good.
So when you're out here fishing these slow death for these walleye, you want to make sure that you keep a good pace on your bait. Oh, this is a little bit nicer fish too. You can add a bead like I did, which is a little bit different than what Brad's doing, which just came off. He quits flopping. So we're catching a ton of these fish today. They're just stacked in here up on a road bed. It goes up anywhere between 9 feet and comes back down to about 15, 20 feet. So we're fishing the edge, a ton of these fish. And all we're doing is we're fishing this slow death. And I put on a colored bead for a little bit of attractant to give it a little more color so they can see it a little bit better. Brad's fishing the opposite. He's fishing a plain hook. And then I also have one with the spinner. So between the three,
I got one going on that one. Good, Josh, if you want to get it. Sorry, they're going fast, guys. Is he there?
No, he's not here. So anyways, as you can see, it's a really effective way to fish these fish, especially in these dog days of summer where it's hot and it's warm water temperatures. Those fish are out, they're coming up, they're going down.
Mid-August, dog days of summer. We're finding fish up on the road beds with pulling crawler harnesses or slow death harnesses. Another thing that we like to do once we find a bunch of fish stacked up there is run cranks, right? We've talked about this in dog days, transitioning, finding them. We found them on cranks today, pulling with bottom bouncers. You ask yourself, bottom bouncers and cranks, really? Okay, well, are we talking stick bait? No, we're talking small salmos. The small salmo bait that really gives yourself a lot of vibration. And we're using heavier bouncers, and the reason why is normally when you're running a three-way rig, a three-way rig is really good for pulling a consistent bottom and being able to get a smaller bait that you couldn't normally get down. Right now we're pulling at about 1-1, 1-2, which is perfect to be able to run death and a small crankbait. And we're able to take that salmo and work this. We have a really steep road bed out here, and we're able to work up and down it. If you're running just a regular crank line, long lining it, you can't run that break up and down, up and down. If you're doing lead, it's a little bit slow. If you're doing a three-way rig, fine. But the problem is when you have a lot of hookups and you're bringing that bait up, everybody knows that the three-way rig now spins around and gets tangled up. This is just something that goes a little bit quicker. So I'm running a 2-ounce bouncer, right? Just like I was with the death 1.5, 2-ounce bouncer. And then I got myself a number 4, very sharp hooks, got me in the shorts. Number 4 right now, crawdad, because we're finding these fish really buried to the bottom. Number 4 salmo, running it at 1-1, 1-2, right with the slow death, right with the spinner rigs, and we've been picking up fish. That we're running, because we're running a real sharp break. We just loaded up with fish with the salmo. You know, like I talked about, we can run that really sharp break. And this might be a smallie. We've been going through smallies and northerns and walleyes. It's pretty nice. It feels like a smallie. It is.
Smallmouth, yeah.
So we've been catching a lot of walleye, a lot of smallmouth. This little salmo. If you run a really sharp break, and you want to run it with a crankbait, this is the way to do it. This will get you down there. Running a salmo on a 2-ounce bouncer, you can really control it.